Hello, Chris Ward for OSP Worldwide. I'd like to take some time today to introduce you to a new product line, our Elite Core snakes. Now, we have Elite Core snakes in many different sizes, starting from a 6-channel with no returns, 8-channel with no returns, all the way up to a 32 by 8 200-foot snake. There are many, many special features that I'd like to share with you about Elite Core snakes. On first glance, you see a different style of box. Many of the snakes that are on the market today have a long, more slender box design. We've chosen to go with a more professional, wider box with the pull handle on the end. Makes much more sense to have the pull handle on the end of the snake box opposite the trunk of the snake. You will notice that the snake enters the box through a metal strain relief. It's a Kellum's style strain relief. Very, very heavy duty, very solid connection right there on the snake box. As we take a closer look at the fan end, you will immediately notice several things. One is the Kellum style strain relief on the fan end, which allows you to provide strain relief under the foot of a mixing console or attached to a leg of a table, whatever you have, to stabilize the fan end of your snake to keep from pulling the connectors out of the mixing console. You also see an additional heat shrink tubing that is reinforcing the end of the snake where it begins to fan out. Very, very nice feature there. As the camera zooms in, you see that each channel all the way through the length of the snake is numbered individually. I will point out that the wires inside the snake are jacketed, plus there's a foil shield, plus a drain wire, and then your 2 conductors inside. So you have shielded with a drain wire, 2 conductor cable times every channel and every return. As we move on up, you notice a very significant amount of heat shrink on each of the channels, and then an individual cable divider that keeps the snake from being tangled and in a big mess like you've seen often before. So the way this divider works, you simply work it out that way to spread your fan out, and then as you're finishing up, you can work this back toward the connectors, and what it will do is keep all of your cables straight and tangle free. I do want to point out that the connectors are Ningbo Neutrik connectors. You can see the Ningbo Neutrik logo right here on each of these connectors. It indicates a very, very high quality connector. The reason that we use Ningbo Neutrik connectors is they are field serviceable. That means without the use of a screwdriver, you simply turn counterclockwise and the connector comes apart. You can pull this sheath back and see the construction. Now, if the camera can get in very close, you can see that there is a foil shield and the drain wire going to the ground, and then 2 conductors, white and red. You also notice that these connections have been hand soldered, not soldered by a machine, but individually hand soldered for extra quality, and there is an extra piece of shrink tubing over those solder joints to prevent shorts. To reassemble, it's very simple. Just slide it back in and the connector is back together, ready to go. Now, on the female connectors, on the returns, it's a similar process. I want to show you that as well. You will notice it's also Ningbo Neutrik. I'm going to disassemble one of them. Press the button to to release, and you can also see the connectors inside. Very excellent hand solder work, very clean, very professional, very reliable. In terms of field serviceability, the connectors on the fan end as well as the connectors on the box end have some special features. You'll notice that we've used Ningbo Neutrik, you can see the logo here and here, for the box end connectors, both for the mic inputs and the returns. Also, we've chosen to use Phillips head screws instead of rivets. The reason is, if you need to service this snake in the field, it's as simple as removing a couple of screws. The steel is threaded, so there's not nuts on the back side that have to be addressed. 2 screws, and we have conveniently left enough lead inside the box so that you can see the connections and service one channel at a time very easily. You will notice the same treatment on the box end, individual hand soldered, individual heat shrink tubing that's clear so that you can visually inspect the solder joint, and again you can see the cable with the foil shield and the drain wire and the red and white wire. Very, very nice construction. You can see the threads right into the steel panel, which allows for instant access to only one channel at a time. You'll notice on the Elite Core snakes we have numbered across in rows. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then down to 12. Then the returns are all professional low impedance XLR returns. So you've got the 3-pin XLRs, A, B, C, and D. To correspond on the other end, the returns are color-coded in red. So you see there a female XLR connector on the fan end, where the microphone channels are all a male XLR connector. And as you can see, the numbering and the color coding is very clear, very easy to read, and permanent. In keeping with the professional tone of the entire Elite Core line, every snake is equipped with a nylon pig bag, or a bag that can cover either the box end or the fan end. You'll notice this one, the OSP Elite Core logo. This is our largest snake that we offer. It's 32 by 8. This one's 100 feet. We also offer it in a 200-foot version. So you can see the returns, A through H, are at the top, and then all 32 channels follow below. Very spacious. You'll notice there's plenty of room to group your cables together to route them as you want. Many people prefer to plug the mic lines in, route them down the center, and loop them through the handle to keep things nice and tidy. We're going to flip the box over and take a look at the inside so that you can see the overall construction and the quality there. There are 4 rubber feet that are attached, again, with Phillips head screws, very easy to access and to remove. After the removal of the 4 screws, the bottom plate will simply lift off and expose all of the internal wiring. And what you see immediately is a very clean, very professional, handmade wiring job. Now, there aren't machines that are used in the wiring of these snakes. Real people with real solder guns actually strip the wires and connect them one solder joint at a time. So you see the trunk coming in, and it splits out in a very orderly fashion, and you'll notice that every channel is labeled.